Let's talk about the many benefits of healthy soil. And we're going to compare and contrast healthy soil with unhealthy soil. And hey, let's look at the benefits of healthy soil. If I could wave a magic wand and make one thing happen worldwide, one of the first things on my list would be, hey, let's everybody capture the rain that falls on our property, capture the rain that falls where we live. Because the value of that rainfall is valuable if we can capture it and keep it on our property. It'll run off into the streams and rivers, but if it runs off too quick, then we're sending our flood downstream and we're sending our pollution downstream, and we're not capturing the benefits of fresh water. And another thing is that worldwide, according to Michael Kravchuk, we're losing 760 cubic kilometers of fresh water every year. That's a net loss of a whole lot of fresh water every year that is leaving the continents and leaving where we live, and it's not coming back on a net basis. So we need to reverse that. We need to, hey, let's have more fresh water where we live and not less. One of the main ways to do that, one of the main ways to capture rainfall, is by nurturing healthy soil. So let's talk about the benefits of healthy soil as opposed to the non-benefits of unhealthy soil. So, healthy soil holds water, and unhealthy soil does not hold water. We'll talk about how and why, but healthy soil, by definition, by its very nature, holds on to the water that comes from the rain, whereas unhealthy soil, by its nature, is compacted and it's not going to hold on to the rain. Healthy soil delivers good nutrition to our plants. Are we growing vegetables? Are we growing something we're going to eat? Then it was going to deliver that nutrition to us too. But healthy soil is able, by its very nature, is able to deliver nutrition to the plants, whereas unhealthy soil is not able to deliver that nutrition to the plants. Healthy soil nurtures healthy plants. Because healthy soil is able to deliver nutrition to the plants, then the plants become more resilient. Whereas if they don't have the nutrition that they need, they're going to be much less resilient. They're going to be vulnerable to pests and pathogens, disease, and drought. So with healthy soil, plants become resilient. With unhealthy soil, plants become vulnerable to drought and disease. With healthy soil, the soil food web grows. So the soil food web is this, below ground, there's a whole lot of life going on if the soil is healthy. The bacteria, protozoa, fungi, nematodes, microarthropods, these are all names for things that are in the soil that constitute the soil food web, and that soil food web continues to grow and become more diverse if you have increasingly healthy soil, whereas with unhealthy soil, that food web dies off. Like if there's not enough rain, if there's not enough water in the soil, or if we're doing things that damage the soil, like chemical fertilizers, pesticides, tillage, the soil food web is going to die off if in the unhealthy soil by definition. Healthy soil has pore spaces. So it's like imagine a sponge. Imagine the holes and the tunnels that are within a sponge, and that's why that sponge can absorb water. And that's why when the water's not there, then there's air in that sponge. Soil is the same way. It has about 40% pore spaces or 40% empty spaces that have air or water. Unhealthy soil, by definition, lacks those pore spaces, and therefore does not have the benefit of being able to absorb rainfall and all the other rainfall and the air. The air is also important to the things that want to live in the soil. So next, healthy soil has high infiltration rates. Infiltration refers to water infiltrating or sinking into the soil. Healthy soil, healthy soil, the water should infiltrate into the soil. It's great if it does it in a few seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. If it's less than a minute, that's still pretty good. If per inch, if it takes more than a minute or 2 or 5 minutes for water to infiltrate into the soil, then that's not good. That means the soil, the water is going to run off. Your infiltration rates are too low. So healthy soil is going to soak in the water. Unhealthy soil, that water is going to stay there until it runs off. So lastly, healthy soil holds water during dry spells and drought. So this is great for your plants because with the climate changing, one of the aspects of climate changing, rainfall becomes less frequent. It's like dry spell, dry spell, dry spell, downpour. So we want our soil to be able to hold water during the dry spell. You can have weeks without rain and your plants are doing fine because your soil is able to hold that water during the dry spell. You can have year after year of below average rain and your plants are doing fine because the soil is able to hold water. So whereas with unhealthy soil, the soil never soaked in the water to begin with. So it's just a bad situation. Much of the negative aspects or the negative impacts of drought have to do with the fact that the soil never had any water in it to begin with. So there you have it. The benefits of healthy soil versus the non-benefits of unhealthy soil. If we want to soak in the rain that falls, and we should want to, because that's going to lower our watering costs for one thing. Plus, once the soil is dry, it's like the water from a hose is never as good. It's always better for you to have what's called, Alan Savory calls it effective rainfall. It's not how much rain you get, it's how much you keep. As long as you soak up the rain that comes, as long as your soil is able to soak in the rain that comes, then it won't matter very much. It won't matter if you have below average rainfall. So there you have it. Thank you.